I'm very pleased to be able to speak today to the Getting the Know conference, and thank you very much for asking me to join you today. Sorry I couldn't be here in person. I'm Barbara Keeley. I'm the Member of Parliament for Worsley and Eccles South, which is in Salford, and I am co-chair of an all-party parliamentary group. That's a grouping of MPs and peers. We work on women's sport and fitness. We set up that group last year because we wanted to become champions for women and girls sport and fitness in Parliament. The other co-chair is Baroness Tanni Grey-Thompson, who raises issues in the House of Lords, and we thought it was important that MPs and peers hear about all the issues in women's sport, and that we can in the group work on looking at issues like what are the barriers that are stopping girls and women doing sport, and what are the ways to deal with those, and then we can take those issues and talk about them, raise questions about them with ministers and see if we can change government policy. So that's what we do, and I'm very pleased to be able to champion that work in Parliament. We had an excellent meeting of the all-party group on women and sport in October when we had Claire Baldry and the Olympian gold medal rowing athlete Kath Granger come and talk to us about how we might change things for women in sport, and that was very inspiring. But there really does need to be an awful lot of change, because if I think about my local situation in Salford, whereas 1 in 4 men and boys take part in sport, it's only half that. It's only 1 in 8 women and girls take part in sport or fitness across Salford. So we really need more opportunities locally, and I want to try to find ways of championing that. The sad thing is, I think we get a bit dominated as across the rest of the country with men's football and men's rugby, and not hear enough about those opportunities, but that's what we're hoping to do. At our last meeting, what we really were talking about too was the future of women's sport and how we can maximise the legacy from the Olympics and Paralympics that we've had in 2012. I think the best thing about 2012 was people being able to watch on TV or in person in the crowd fantastic women athletes that were taking part in sports that people didn't expect to see women taking part in. So things like rowing and cycling, and having all those fantastic successes, as well as tennis and swimming that we kind of hear and know that we have women. And also an awful lot of smaller sports, the kind of minority sports that attract women and girls to take part as well. So we had all that coverage, and that was fantastic. And we need to make sure that we can translate that into policies that make a difference, from school sport and community sport right through to those elite athletes. I mean, we do keep having setbacks too, because in football the FA has just made a really poor offer to our England women's football team, the players, to be put on a central contract, in that they've offered them quite a small amount, £18,000 a year. The sad thing about that is that it's less than a player like Thea Walcott would get per day. So Thea Walcott puts in a bid to get paid £110,000 a week, or £22,000 a year a day. We don't even offer that to our national women's football side in a year. So I think that example really shows that we've got a long way to go. But I just wanted you to know through this message today that we are working in Parliament, both in the Commons and the Lords, in raising these issues with ministers and trying to make sure that they get the proper airing that they get in the media, and that we'll be pushing forward. So I wish you success in the conference today. I'm sure you're talking about the same sort of things that we're talking about too when we get together here, and just good to know that you're there and that we're championing this work and taking it forward in Parliament.